No hate, but how do you feel about being trans and being close to God? Is it contradicting? Or if it's contradicting. So you're making the statement that it's contradicting, even worse. I'm going to have to eat you up even more. In what world, like, here's the thing. I really do try to, not talk too much about my religious beliefs, my spirituality, even though it feels like I am every 5 seconds. But it's because of questions like this that I can't help but answer, because it's like, in what world is God? In what world is my creator, the creator of the universe, me having a relationship with that and, learning about that and getting close to that and believing in that? In what world does that contradict anything to do with something as worldly and low level as if somebody is trans or not? And how is God just for you? I know you said no hate, but you also stated that it's contradicting. You said it as a statement. In what world? I feel like some of y'all would believe that God is for like someone, a serial killer on death row after killing 17 fucking people, before you'll even consider if it's like God's for like gay and trans people too. It's like, I promise you, God is for everybody. The weird ownership that some people feel like they have over God is really weird. And obviously it's what like every war is fought for. If you don't know, it's the background behind like us going into World War III is like, 2 of the 3 Abrahamic religions going to war, Judaism and Islam. That's what is really going on in the Middle East right now. But like, and so I get it that everyone, everyone's fighting all the time. But I promise you, if God is for Ted Bundy, if he repents at the end of his life, God is for me, regardless of if my hair is long and if I have plastic surgery or whatever the hell. I promise you, God is more concerned with my soul than my shell. I know for a fact that it is not contradictory for me to be trans and believe in God. And it's just really weird, this mindset, because it also feeds into why so many people in the LGBT community are so godless. We would have so much better social cohesion between straight people and gay people if gay people and trans people felt more of a permission to seek God, to have a relationship with God, than what's happening now, which is, just a lot of really godless behavior from that community. And I feel like it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. If all the people dropping bombs in the Middle East, if all the people, signing legislation that hurts people in the world, if all of them can claim God, I could claim God. All the people manufacturing war missiles and shit, I need you to go hit up them at Miss Lockheed, right? At Miss Raytheon, and ask them if they feel like it's contradictory to believe in God and be making missiles that kill people. After you hit them up, maybe I'll be more inclined to go into detail with you about how it's also not contradictory for me to believe in God despite being trans. There's a lot of people that interpret scripture in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different sects of Christianity. There's a lot of different views. There's Orthodox, there's First Baptist, there's people who were Gnostic Christians, there are people who are all sorts of things. Transsexuals were surely not around back then, and so there's not exactly clear-cut scripture about that regardless. So it is what it is. You know what else has been covered up? The insane health benefits of cocoa flavonols. Those are the compounds found in cocoa that boost nitric oxide, improve your heart health, and regenerate brain cells. Clearly, some of y'all need that. But before you roll your eyes, like you did when you flipped through the redacted Epstein files, this is not just like some woo-woo nonsense, I promise you. Check this out. Harvard scientist Dr. William Lee actually backs this up.
Clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in like men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually just have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. Yeah. And they doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream, and their circulation improved measurably.
There you have it, dark chocolate. But here's the thing, flavonols are the good stuff found within cocoa, but it's usually destroyed in the chocolate making process. And that is where Black Forest Supplements comes in for the win. They have created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder. It's packed with everything your body actually needs, and it's only 20 calories. I've been using this for a while now, and the brain fog I usually have in the morning, it's gone. Hollywood elites will drop $50K for placenta stem cell injections, but you can be normal and just drink cocoa powder like I do. I mean, you get the same benefits, you're just not selling your soul for it. That is 50% off for the next 48 hours only from Black Forest. in the pinned comment or the description box or the QR code on the screen. Why do you hate black people? Do you not have any black friends? I don't really have friends, period. That's number one. Number two, I don't hate black people. Funnily enough, the only time I talk about black people is when I'm responding to anti-white black influencers on TikTok or talking about how much there is hatred coming from that way towards white people. And I think that there is a really big misconception in this world that white people wake up thinking about, getting mad about black people. And it's really not the case. It's really not the case. I think that if you weren't stupid, person who wrote this, you would probably more so be picking up on the disproportionate hate going from black people towards white people. Like, the strongest word white people can even think to come up with that represents their like resentment towards black people is fatigue, just that they're tired. Whereas white people, we have like Mayo monkey, colonizer, white trash. Like, it's just
ranch raccoon. I heard that one the other day. It's pretty good.
Ranch raccoon, shut up. If you look at the way that it is commonly accepted in American culture for black people and any other race to talk about white people, it's really not a two-way fight. Just saying. So no, I don't hate black people, and no, I don't have black friends because I don't have friends. Y'all need to stop calling me racist. I am not racist. I don't care if you're black, Mexican, Asian, normal. This is our first celebrity question in the Q&A from Carmen Carrera. Hey, Carmen. If you could sit down with Candace Owens now, what would you discuss / debate? I mean, I don't really know. I'm not really pining for some type of sit down at all. People think I have this like long-standing resentment towards this person. I know that every year I become like an entirely new human being because I'm actually growing and evolving. I'm not stagnant. And so I kind of just give other people that like baseline, everyone's probably a different person at least every few years, right? Which is probably just giving people too much, but I don't have any like negative energy. So I don't know. I guess could maybe be a productive conversation, but like, would it? Do you ever want to adopt children someday? I don't know, but I know that if I ever become a parent, it will probably be through that means. To be honest, I do actually have negative feelings towards surrogacy and like paying a woman to like be a pregnant person for like 9 months and then give you their baby and then separate them from that child. I feel like that's demonic. I feel like that is spiritually bankrupt. That's just my opinion. And sorry to state it so bluntly, but I'm not going to lie about it. I think separating children from their parents for any reason is demonic. I think that treating pregnancy like you're just like a cow carrying like a calf who's going to get taken to be made into veal or something, like the life growing in you like doesn't matter, and so it can be sold for like however fucking much money. No shade to anybody who does it because it is what it is, but I personally would never pay money for someone to be pregnant and then give me their child. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a bit I've met orphans in my life before, and this is not to be said to be disrespectful. This is said to be truthful. My observation of them has been that they have very fucked up lives, and that is so sad. And that's coming from a bitch who, I've had fucked up parts of my life too, so it's not like I'm coming from a place of looking down on you at all. It's just that it really matters having parents in this world. Having 2 parents in this world matters. Having even 1 parent as opposed to 0 matters. And I've seen people who have 0. And it's a struggle for them. And things change and science changes. But I'm for damn sure not getting any kind of womb up in here.
Yeah, what if Elon gets you like some kind of neuro womb?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. My heart started racing. No. I've put a lot of things in my body in my day, right? Filler, plastic, whatever. I'm not putting anything Elon Antichrist Musk puts out for sale. Nothing in my brain. No womb. Because that baby's coming out fucked up. I don't care which way you splice it. You can't splice a real baby out of a man. You just can't. So it's a maybe on that. That's the answer. How do you feel about some of the recent laws being passed in your state? Some of them are very much bunk. Some of them are very much shitty. They're trying to ban weed in Texas. I think it's up to the governor now to like do the final like sign off on if we're going to have THC here anymore. But that definitely makes me mad. And if I have to be honest, I am getting a little bit over Texas. I'm getting very much over Austin and a little bit over Texas in general. I don't know. I'm thinking it might be time for me to move, brace for it, back to California, because I want to be a part of the solution. I want to heal California. I don't want to be the person who runs from problems anymore in my life. I'm getting to an age where like I don't want to in any way run away from problems, let problems, control me. So I don't want to necessarily say, oh, California is just so fallen and the politics are just so corrupt there that I have to like be a refugee in some other state. I was born and raised in California, right? And it's just something about the energy in the ground. I really believe. I feel like there's a reason why I was born there. There's a reason my frequency resonates with that. I'm going to be back eventually no matter what. I just know that. And when I do, I think that's run for office time. In fact, I know it is. And so that's really the plan right now, because I want to fix California. It's a beautiful state. It's it might be the most beautiful piece of land on the planet, which is why it's targeted by fucking evil people and corrupt politicians and Satanists. And so I want to protect that beautiful land and be part of the solution. What's the problem? Do you wish you were born female, or are you okay with being female with a male past? A male past. Moving on from the wording of that, I actually know that's the thing. I feel like for all the people that say Blaire White, has a lot of self-hate in her life, hates herself for being trans, I really do not, because if I could flip a switch right now and be born a female, I would not be flipping the switch. I believe I was born in the exact right body. I don't believe in any of the born in the wrong body shit. And I feel like a lot of the reason why you see trans people up on TikTok talking about, I got misgendered at Taco Bell, I'm gonna die, right? Life is just over because somebody didn't perceive them the way they want to be perceived. You have way too much attachment to that. And that's actually a sign of self-hatred. I don't hate myself for being born male. I don't hate myself for being born biologically male right now. I really do not. I have, a lifetime of experience that I would not have, a beautiful life that I would not have. Maybe I'd have another kind of beautiful life, but I want this life. I'm up in this game. I'm on this level of like the universe, right? Like I chose this go around for a reason. So I wouldn't change it. And I think that's like the biggest misconception about, or I don't know, I was going to say a misconception about trans people, but a lot of them really are like that. They're just like hating the fact that they weren't born a certain way. And like, I don't know, maybe I'm not articulating it in the best possible way, but I believe I am the same person that I was when I was a 5-year-old boy. I believe I'll be the same person even on my deathbed. So I believe this is a shell. I believe this is a shell. How much has fame changed you? I mean, it's hard to say because it's not as if I get to get like a view of my parallel life where like that didn't happen for me. So I could be a crackhead on the street, dead and broke if I wasn't famous. Like, I don't know. And on the contrary, I'm sure there are things that are negative about, me having fame that I don't necessarily pick up on because they just become part of my world. Although there are some really clear things. I guess though, I'm probably a much more guarded person than I would be if I was not. I'm probably a lot more distrustful of other people than if I was not. And actually I know that because it's been a gradual like decay of my trust in other people and friends and relationships and stuff. It hasn't gone up since becoming more famous. It's gone down. You know what I mean? I'm like having my Starbucks barista messing with my drink right now. It's like when stuff like that happens, you start to be like, oh, wow, I don't trust anybody. And then you start to see how people that are very, very famous and very, very high up there and constantly being, used by people and abused by people, you start to see why celebrities start to become assholes. You start to see why they start, what's that clip of Justin Bieber this week? What's not clocking? It's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business right now. I feel like I'm about to go do that in Starbucks. So I feel him. I also think it probably everyone says it amplifies who you really are. I could see that. Because I think that my moral compass, my perspective on right and wrong, I do not believe It would be the exact same as right now. It would. But life circumstances and how much I trust people, that would probably be different. Thank you so much to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring today's podcast. Love them so much. Go check them out. And I'm out. Hopefully the next time I see you, we're not in the middle of World War III. Love you. Subscribe to this podcast as well as my main channel. Follow me on X, TikTok, and Instagram. And I'll see you in the next episode of the podcast. Bye, guys.